Has the landscape of college basketball changed as we know it? Well, let's take a look at it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to College Hoops Tonight. As always, I am your host, Austin Samuels, and today we're talking about conference realignment and its impacts on college basketball. Obviously, the big news in the past year, Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. That's a little bit older news, but the new news of USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten has everybody in a frenzy, including teams and conferences themselves. So let's look into the impacts of these moves and this conference realignment and how that's going to change the game of college basketball. But first, do you love college basketball? Do you want to be a part of a community that lives and breathes college basketball? Well, my friends, you have come to the right place. Here at College Hoops Tonight, we talk everything college basketball, from the transfer portal, recruiting classes, game predictions, and betting advice. If that sounds appealing to you, subscribe down below and make sure to leave a comment on whether you think my take is right. I need some of y'all to keep me in check with some of the crazy predictions and stuff that I come up with. And we're back! Alright, so looking at the impacts of college basketball and how this changes, conferences are struggling to keep order right now. There's a big-time power struggle. Talking about potential super conferences in the future, whether that's 2 super conferences or 3 super conferences. Most people want to look at this from a basketball or a football perspective, rather, and not a basketball perspective. There's a lot more TV revenue within these super conference ideas, and they want teams competing for the college football playoff, right? Which now especially puts the Pac-12 in a position where there is little to no chance that they have a team that gets into the college football playoff. But anyways, that is football. Moving back to basketball, this is going to change the way that March Madness runs entirely. We are going to see like double-digit bids from multiple conferences if these 2 to 3 super conferences really come to fruition. And it's going to be really interesting to see how we rank these teams, right? Because of strength of schedule and their conference play and who they play and who they don't. College basketball is going to be crazy, right? You look at the Big Ten now, that conference is insanely hard, and they may not be done growing. I mean, USC and UCLA, they're going to be challenged a ton. We're going to look at that in another video a little bit down the road. But man, oh man, I mean, the number of bids is going to be crazy. The strength of schedule and the lack of strength of schedule in, say, a conference like the Pac-12 now is going to be very impactful. And also the question of what is a power conference anymore. We're changing that definition, it seems like, going forward. By the end of this offseason, the Pac-12 may not be a power conference anymore. That's a reality that we have to face. So who fits into, those categories that we've been so comfortable with over the past, 10 years since our last major conference realignment? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be really hard to weigh tournament resumes, and that is the biggest question, and that's where I think college basketball is going to change big time. I think these super conferences could end up getting 12 teams in the tournament, and you look at a conference, maybe a redone Pac-12 gets only 3 teams each year, or 2 teams each year. They could end up, like the WCC or something, right? I see a lot of change happening in college basketball. I don't know if I like it or not, but it is exciting. And we are going to have you covered here on College Hoops Tonight. We are going to be focusing solely on conference realignment for the next couple of weeks. So if you haven't already, subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with tons more conference realignment content. Don't go anywhere. Thanks so much for watching. I am your host, Austin Samuels. You've been watching College Hoops Tonight. Have a terrific rest of your week, and I will see you next time.